The Blow-Ins are Tom Canning and David Mole, who have been performing as a folk duo for about 8 years, and they're based out of Dingle, County Kerry, Ireland. In non-COVID years, during the tourist season, March through October, they are found playing nightly throughout Dingle to locals and tourists alike. In the off-season, they have taken the opportunity to play festivals and venues on both coasts of the US, as well as in the Netherlands.
Hello, Tumbleweed. My name is Tom. This is Dave. We are called the Blow-Ins. We're videoing in from Dingle Peninsula and the County Kerry, Ireland. Unfortunately, we can't show you outside because it's just raining and fog, so there'd be nothing there for you to see.
It is August after all.
It is August, that's right, yeah. Irish summer for you. We are going to play a few songs for you. We're absolutely thrilled to be here. We've heard about Tumbleweed for years. We've wanted to go. We haven't been able to because we've been over here, and this year we get to participate, even if only in the virtual capacity. We're going to start off with a song by the great Christy Moore, a wonderful singer-songwriter. He assembled this song rather than wrote it. He put it together by using the lyrics from a Bobby Sands poem from the 80s and marrying them to a Gordon Lightfoot song, or the melody from it anyways, called The Wreck of the Edmond Fitzgerald. And it talks about the horrible conditions that were on the prison ships carrying Irish prisoners over to Van Diemen's Land, what we now know as Tasmania in Australia. Many of the men didn't even make it over, dying along the way in those horrible conditions. So it's a happy little number to start out with, but a nice one. This is called I Wish I Were Back Home in Derry. 1, 2, 3.
In 1803 we sailed out to sea, out from the sweet town of Derry. For Australia bound, if we didn't all drown, the marks of our fetters we carried. In our rusty iron chains we cried for our wains, our good women we left in sorrow. As the mainsail unfurled, our hearses we hurled on the English and thoughts of tomorrow. At the mouth of the foil bade farewell to the soil, as down below decks we were lying. Old Doherty's scream, broken out of a dream, of a vision of Bull Robert dying. The sunburn cruel as we dished out the gruel, and O'Connor was down with the fever. 60 rebels today, bound for Botany Bay, how many will reach their receiver? Oh, I wish I was back home in Derry. Oh, I wish I was back home in Derry. I cursed them to hell as our bow fought to swell. Our ship danced like a moth in the firelight. White horses rode high as the devil passed by, bringing souls to Hades by twilight. 5 weeks out to sea, we were now 43. We buried our comrades each morning. In our own slime we were lost in the time, endless night without dawning. Oh, I wish I was back home in Derry. Oh, I wish I was back home in Derry. Van Diemen's Land is a hell for a man to end out his whole life in slavery, where the climate is raw and the gun makes the law. Neither wind nor rain care for bravery. 20 years have gone by, I have ended my bond. My comrade's ghost walked beside me. A rebel I came, and I'm still the same. On the cold winds of night you will find me. Oh, I wish I was back home in Derry. Oh, I wish I was back home in Derry. Oh, I wish I was back home in Derry. And oh, I wish I was back home in Derry. I wish I was back home in Derry.
There we go, Back Home in Derry. A little bit of a sad song, but a lovely little number in terms of the melody. and of course tells an important story as well. We're going to do another one. It's a little bit happier, but a little bit sort of bittersweet, I suppose. It's about Dingle. Since we're videoing in from Dingle, we thought we'd do a song from the area. It seems that there's so many beautiful places in Ireland. Every place really has its own little anthem. Why should Dingle be any different? It's not. It has its own. This is a favorite of the locals. It's called Dingle Bay.
The sun was sinking o'er the westward. The fleet is leaving Dingle shore. I watch the men rowing their curraghs as they mark the fishing ground near Skelligmore. All through the night men toil until the daybreak, while at home their wives and sweethearts kneel and pray that God might guard them and protect them and send them safely back to Dingle Bay. I see the green isle of Valentia, I mind the caves around Loch Lane, the gannets swinging with abandon as they watch the silver store that comes their way. I also see a ship on the horizon. She's sailing to a country far away. On board are exiles feeling lonely as they wave a fond farewell to Dingle Bay. Now years have passed as I came home, and time has left me old and grey. I sit and muse about my childhood and the happy hours I spent near Dingle Bay. I see again the green isle of Valentia and the Isle of Inishmore seems far away. I am always dreaming of my homeland and the little spot I left near Dingle Bay, and the little spot I left near Dingle Bay.
Dingle Bay. There we go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we do that?
We're hoping everybody's enjoying themselves out there, and we hope that you're going to enjoy the rest of the festival. We're going to finish up with this next song here. Before we do, thank you once again for allowing us to participate. We hope that everybody has a great time. If you're ever over in Ireland, in Dingle, in Kerry, feel free to come visit us. Hopefully we'll be back over that way at some point in the future. Until then, enjoy yourselves. We're going to finish up with a love song. What better way to finish up, Dave, than with a love song?
We love a good love song.
A sort of love song. A song about a young man, anyways, who's walking down the road one day and he sees a lovely young lady walking his way and decides he'd love to meet up with this lovely young woman. And as she passes him by, she gives him a little bit of a wink and a smile, and off she goes. And he falls in love immediately and decides he's going to spend the rest of his life with this beautiful young lady. So he runs home, he gets himself all dressed up. He goes to the fair where he's sure she's going to be, and he's got these visions in his head about he's going to say all the right things, and he's going to make such a wonderful impression. The two are immediately going to fall in love and spend the rest of their lives in wedded bliss, which is a lovely sentiment indeed, and also a bit of nonsense, really. She merely just said hello to him in the street, and he's kind of creeped on her a small bit.
It's the last time he's ever seen her.
That's right. So, but we'll just, we'll pretend it's a love song anyways. It's a fun little one. This is called Star of the County Down. 2, 3, 4.
In Bambridge town in the county down one morning last July, from a boring green came a sweet Colleen, and she smiled as she passed me by. She looked so sweet from her 2 bare feet to the sheen of her nut brown hair. Such a coaxing elf, sure shook myself for to see I was really there. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Quay, and from Galway to Dublin town, no maid I've seen like the brown Colleen that I met in the county down. As she onward sped, sure scratched my head, then I looked with a feeling rare. Then I says I, to a passer-by, who's the maid with the nut brown hair? Well, he looked at me and he says he, that the gem of old Ireland's crown. Young Rosie McCann from the banks of the Bann, she's the star of the county down. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Quay, and from Galway to Dublin town, no maid I've seen like the brown Colleen that I met in the county down. Well, I travelled a bit, but I ne'er was hit since our Roman career began. But near and fair I surrendered there to the charms of Rosie McCann. With a heart to let and no tenant, yet did I meet with a shawl or gown. But in she went, and I asked no rent from the star of the county down. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Quay, and from Galway to Dublin town, no maid I've seen like the brown Colleen that I met in the county down. At the harvest fair she'll be surely there, and I'll dress in my Sunday clothes, with my shoes shone bright and my hat cocked right, for a smile from a nut brown rose. No pipe I'll smoke, no horse I'll yoke, till my plough to the rust-coloured brown, and till a smiling bride by my own fireside is the star of the county down. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Quay, and from Galway to Dublin town, no maid I've seen like the brown Colleen that I met in the county down. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Quay, and from Galway to Dublin town, no maid I've seen like the brown Colleen that I met in the county down.
Thanks very much, Tumbleweed. Hopefully we'll see you for real soon.